From the Millersville University Weather Center, this is student meteorologist Nico Amaritas
Becky Butterfield,
and Ian Borgel.
with a short-term weather forecast and video discussion issued on Monday, September 16th, 2024. Taking a look outside, we have mostly cloudy conditions, but there are some peaks of sunshine that are starting to make their way through.
Yeah, and for the most part, really just expect mostly cloudy, and like you mentioned, maybe a few breaks in the clouds, but outside of that, mostly cloudy. And now let's take a look at our daily climatology. Today, expect a high of around 78, so a little bit warmer than average. This morning was definitely on the cooler end with a low of around 51. And like I had mentioned, it's pretty much average for this time of the year with a high of around 77 and a low of around 54. And today's record high was set in 1930, that was 95, and we also had a low of 35, which was set in 1923.
moving on to our sky cam. This is John Wright Restaurant looking east across the Susquehanna River towards Lancaster County. As you can see, it is mostly cloudy with a little bit of breaks of sunshine. And moving on to our visual satellite, you can see that cloud mass in the south, causing us to be mostly cloudy for the rest of the day.
So taking a look at the NAM model for 8 p.m. later today, we have high pressure built over the North Atlantic Ocean, and we also have a low pressure system over the Carolinas, which will eventually make its way up the East Coast, but will probably not have a lot of impacts for our region. So for Tuesday, 2 p.m., we have that low pressure system starting to make its way up the coast, but that high pressure will really suppress it and will limit the impacts that we have. And then going into Tuesday night and then looking into Wednesday for 2 p.m., we might see an isolated shower out of this, but that's pretty much where the line would stop. And then the low pressure kind of just makes its way out of our region.
Alright, now let's take a look at our short-term forecast from the Millersville University Weather Information Center. Tonight, expect mainly cloudy and mild conditions for the most part, with a low of around 60. Tuesday, definitely an uptick in temperature a little bit, as we'll expect mostly cloudy and pleasant conditions out there, with a high of around 80. And then Wednesday, should expect those cooler temperatures and cloudy, with maybe an isolated shower or two for our area, but very low impacts for the most part.
Well, that's a wrap for this edition of the short-term forecast. Tune back in tomorrow for the latest edition. Until then, enjoy the drier and calmer conditions.